The hotel seems to have few guests, but in this season you'd normally expect a bit more to be going on. Maybe the others have seen the weather report. There's a storm getting up, and who wants to be stuck in a hotel on the Atlantic in the rain? Both cars have main plates, so maybe they aren't even guests. Or maybe they're rental cars. The back room seems to be an office. Desk, files. Plenty of people say that the New England coastal towns look Scandinavian, but I doubt if they build such big houses over there. I reckon this place was purposely built as a hotel. It's too big for an ordinary house. The owners probably live in some of the rooms. The majority are rented out. The mast is a copy of a flagpole you might see on a big ship. You often get stormy weather coming off the Atlantic, along with powerful gusts of wind. If the hotel owner ain't quick, he can go look for his flags in Canada. Nothing to find. It's not exactly like the Florida or Californian beaches. The water here is way too cold to swim in it for long. I'm not climbing down there without a good reason. I don't really like to climb into other people's houses. Well, not without a good reason. Looks very cozy. I bet you get a fantastic view of the whales from the veranda. But you know, that reminds me of my favorite film, Whales of August. That genius Vincent Price, in a really unusual role. Looks very cozy. I bet you get a fantastic view of the whales from the veranda. But you know, that reminds me of my favorite film, Whales of August. That genius Vincent Price, in a really unusual role. There are a few magazines lying around here. Recommendations for trips, tourist information, nothing of interest to me. There are pictures of ships everywhere. Either the hotel owner has a real maritime interest or thinks that his guests want to see that kind of thing. Plants. I know as much about plants as I do about cars, and that's not very much at all. A private sign hangs on the door. The owner and his family live in this building. Behind the door is either their living quarters or an office. Excuse me.
Yes, please.
You know my mother? Rebecca Michaels?
Rebecca? Well, of course! We sit together on the tourist board. You're her son? How is she?
Not good, I'm afraid. She's lying in the hospital. She had a fall.
Oh, my dear boy, I'll let my wife know right away. We'll send her a card.
Well, if you like.
So what are you doing here, then? Shouldn't you be with your mother?
I'm gonna go see her again later.
Well, please, give her our best wishes.
Yes, of course. Does the hotel belong to you?
It sure does. My grandfather built it, and I've been running it for the past 15 years.
Do you live here with your family?
It's like this. The guests value the quiet family atmosphere here. It really is something quite special to stay in a small, family-run hotel. I can't bear those awful tower block hotels in the holiday resorts.
And at some point your children will take over the running of it?
Yes, I hope so. My daughter's studying to be a hotelier in Switzerland. I only hope that our hotel here doesn't end up being too small and provincial for her. Well, my son, well, he's got rather different interests.
What's he doing then?
Now, he's a musician.
Really?
Yes. He even thinks he can make a living out of it.
Some people live very nicely from it. What does he play?
He plays an electric bass in a band. I think it's called punk rock.
And you're worried about that? I've heard that you have poker games here every now and again. Could I maybe sit in on a game?
I ask you, please. This is a respectable hotel. We don't condone illegal gambling.
I'd like to get back into playing poker. I'd be interested in a blind man's white cane as a bet.
Yes, nice. We sometimes play a little game or two of poker here, but nothing public, quite private. Never for high stakes.
Wouldn't you say that for a blind man, a white cane would be quite a high stake?
He wanted to bet with it.
You know what? I think I'll inform the police about your game. I mean, that can't be right now, can it? You can't take a cane away from a blind man.
Well, go ahead and call the cops. I've got nothing to hide. I won the cane fair and square. You can ask the other players.
If you say so. So what was that again about the fair and square win in an illegal gambling game in a respected local hotel? What would Rosie think if I told her about it? What would other people think, in fact? Taking the cane from a blind man. What a devious, slimy character you are.
No, please, don't do that. I am sorry. I really didn't want the cane, you know. Eddie just didn't have any more dough with him, and he threw it in as a guarantee.
How much did he stake on it, then?
Oh, it's not worth talking about. What's $100 anyway? You seeing him today? I could give you the cane. Give him my best, and tell him he can consider it a gift from a good old friend.
Well, great. I'll take it with me and pass it on to Eddie, then.
And give your mother my best when she wakes up.
Yeah. I should be looking after my mother or beating the crap out of Fuller's fat face. But instead, I'm standing here with a stomach full of butterflies. I don't know what it is about her, but man, I got it bad. All right, let's go.
Come in.
Hello, Angelina. Have I come at a bad time?
No, come in.
I've got the pictures with me. Here.
Oh, great.
To be honest, it's anything other than great. The wrong lighting, pathetic composition. Fuller has really no idea what he's doing.
I thought that might be the case. I'm sure they would have been better if you'd taken them. How would you take my picture?
Well, your face should, well,
Just do it.
Huh?
Don't tell me that you, the would-be star photographer, haven't got a camera with you.
Sure, of course.
Come on, then. I still need a present for my parents' wedding anniversary.
Very nice. The light is perfect.
Have you been living here long?
Oh, I don't live here at all. I study in Boston. My mom just bought a house here a few months ago. What brings you here? Look over that way. Yeah, like that. Are you an actress or something like that?
You got it. I'm a famous English actress on my way to Hollywood. No, but seriously. I study literature and history in England. I'm interested in English immigrants in America. Their aspirations, their dreams, their reality.
Wow, that's interesting.
If you say so. We'll see. I wanted to drift a bit, collect some life stories. I don't yet know exactly how I should organize the work.
My mother's from England, too. She came over here more than 20 years ago.
Really? Do you think I could talk to her?
That isn't possible at the moment. That's a very pretty bracelet.
Oh, thank you. I got it from my grandmother. She was always there for me. Unfortunately, she died last year.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Thanks, but you don't need to be. She was very ill at the end, you know? It was a relief for her. She gave me this bracelet shortly before she died. I'm sure you'll find it silly, but I always have the feeling that she's near me and looks after me. Perhaps we could do a few more special pictures for your portfolio. I always wanted to have a few photos of myself as a model.
Oh, sure. I don't know, what did you have in mind?
I thought maybe like this. Or like this. Or like this.
That's it. The film is full.
Oh, shame. I was just getting warmed up. What do you say we go for a meal?
Actually, I'm not hungry yet, but...
Tonight. In the diner. I'll pay. In return for the photos, okay?
Yes. Sure. Sounds good.
All right, then. See you tonight. Can you develop the pictures by then?
Yeah, no problem.
I'm looking forward to it.
Jeez. That was certainly something.
Yes, Miss Angelina Morgan has a room here. Would you like to leave her a message, or would you like to go up?
How many nights has she booked?
Damn. No more pictures on the film.
I'm sorry, sir, but you'll have to ask Miss Morgan herself. I can't.
All right.
Brown comb-back hair, a long straight nose, eyes close together.
Which room is she in, then?
I'll inform her that you're here. Mr...
That won't be necessary. I'll come back later.
Thin lips, sallow skin, angular face, pointed chin.
But please, don't tell her I was here. It's supposed to be a surprise.
Hello? What's wrong? Sir?
And he's gone. What does this guy want? Excuse me.
Yes, please?
Since when has Miss Morgan been staying here?
You seem to be her friend. Ask her yourself. We run a very discreet hotel here.
Would that be the case if I were to leave a 20 on your counter?
Sorry?
Nothing. This guy, the one who was asking about Miss Morgan, had you seen him before?
Sorry, no. He came in and asked me a few questions. Then he disappeared. A strange fellow. Do you know him?
No, but I think he shouldn't be letting near Miss Morgan.
Of course not. I call upstairs, and only when the young lady agrees do I let him up.
And he can't come creeping around here?
Well, that possibility can't be completely excluded. But you can only open the doors from outside with a key.
Huh. Well, great. I need to develop the pictures before my date, but I can't get into Fuller's darkroom anymore. So I'll have to get by with just domestic items. Mom's bathroom will make a great substitute darkroom. I've still got the remains of the photo paper. And I've got developer. I need a red light, 2 flat dishes, and a little acid to use as a fixer. And something to do the exposing with. A projector, for example. I'll write everything down so I don't forget anything. And I still absolutely have to put Mrs. Biber's letter through Fuller's letterbox. I just hope the two haven't spoken to one another yet. What a day. Hey, Rosie. Hard at work, I see.
What do you want?
Hey, do you know Eddie from the junk shop?
Yeah, sure. I know pretty well everybody here.
So what's going on with him?
He's single. Was never married before either, as far as I know. But hey, who could put up with him for long anyway? Those never-ending war stories. Can you imagine that?
Is he really blind?
I never heard different, but I wouldn't put money on it either. He's a chiseler. Maybe he's got disability just so he can make himself a few bucks.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how old Fuller is, but him and the car must have been made around the same time. An unbelievable mess of old guns and swords, uniforms, ships' bells, radios. As long as it's old, it's sold here.
Come on in. Come on. Oh, it's you.
How do you know that? I thought you were blind.
You stink of perfume, like a whorehouse I once visited in Lille. Smells like teen spirit.
If you say so. There was something else.
Well, spit it out. What do you want?
About the slide projector.
It ain't for sale.
I don't want to buy it. I just need it for a while. I want to borrow it.
Borrow? Oh, and I get it back in bits, huh?
Come on, Eddie. I helped you with the coin, and you're gonna make a lot on that.
My blind man's cane is much more important to me.
So, if I get you the cane, can I borrow the projector?
All right, then.
Your blind man's cane.
Well, thanks. You know, you're smarter than you sound. Best put it by the door. Hey, listen, if I can help you out in any way, you just ask.
About the slide projector.
It ain't for sale.
I don't want to buy it. I just need it for a while. I want to borrow it. I did help you with the coin and got your blind man's cane back.
That's true. Okay, take the projector, but bring it back today.
Yeah, I'll bring it back today, and undamaged.
Good. Good.
Hopefully he doesn't take too much pleasure in it. Yes, this'll do for my red light. This chain of lights is gonna stay dark tonight. Alright, I've got everything I need to develop the pictures. It's gonna take a bit of time, so let's get going. I've got the pictures. Huh, they've come out quite well, considering the conditions I had to develop them in. All the stuff that I need for developing is in the bathtub. I hope I won't be needing it for a while. I'm just gonna take Eddie's slide projector. I wish I could make some reprints of some of the pictures, but there's no more photo paper left. But I'm gonna keep at least one. I'll go and visit my mother one more time, and then I'll get ready to go out.
And you think that the guy is following me? A student from England? Why?
No idea. I didn't say that he is following you. I only said that he might be. Perhaps it's me he's following.
It's all right, Darren. I didn't mean to upset you. What's wrong with you?
Oh, I don't know. It's just all too much for me at the moment. My mom's in the hospital, there's this thing with England, and then this guy.
Which thing with England?
Yeah, well, my mom, she gets money from England. A village called Willow Creek. Do you know it?
Yes. I even know roughly where it is.
I think it's a place where my mom worked as a cook.
And she still gets money from there? Her plum pudding must be heavenly.
That's the thing. I mean, that's more than 20 years ago. Who's sending her over $1,000 every month? And for what? I found this box next to the bank transfers.
Huh.
I've never seen it before. And that coat of arms with the 3 lions? That's an English emblem, isn't it?
It is.
What exactly are you doing?
I just thought you maybe wanted to see what's inside.
You know how to open it?
There were thousands of these caskets produced in the 19th century. There's a special kind of lock mechanism that's supposed to keep curious people out.
Well, it didn't really work.
What's inside?
A photo.
A man and a woman in front of a wrought iron gate. Is that your mum? And the man, is that your father? Is there anything written on the back? Blackmere Castle, Willow Creek, England, October 1969. What's wrong?
My mom.
Darren?
Do you think she looks 5 months pregnant?
Darъn Майкълс? My name's Conley. I'm captain of the local police department.
Are you gonna arrest me?
No, we're not. But we need to talk to you. May I come in?
Sure. So?
You work in Fuller's photo studio, is that right?
Not anymore. Not since yesterday.
Not anymore. Why?
The work atmosphere. I quit.
Quit? Or were you thrown out? Was there an argument?
Why? Has something happened to Fuller? Please say yes.
Well, yes.
Have you arrested him? Or did someone beat him up in a dark alley?
Would you be happy about that?
Only if it was painful.
He's dead. He was stabbed to death in the early hours of the morning. We're still counting the wounds. Can you tell us anything about that?
No. Nothing you'd find fitting.
Someone must have been pretty angry with old Mr. Fuller. How angry were you with him, Darren?
So angry that I don't feel sorry that he's dead. But I've got nothing to do with it. Look, I saw him for the last time yesterday afternoon when he threw me out.
And you haven't been in the store since then?
No.
Darren, we found your fingerprints.
Of course, I worked there.
On the safe. Was that part of your job?
Look, what do you want?
Where were you last night?
I was in Biba's diner with a friend.
Correct. Angelina Morgan. You haven't known her very long, have you?
Do you have to be engaged if you want to go out with a woman in this town?
Very funny. Only if you did know her better, you might be able to explain why Miss Morgan murdered Mr. Fuller.
What?
She was practically caught red-handed.
Practically?
She was standing over Mr. Fuller's corpse, covered in blood. The whole thing could have only been clearer if we had a notarized, certified video of the murder.
That's crazy. Perhaps she found Fuller dead and wanted to help him.
That's what she claims too. And what was she doing in Fuller's store in the middle of the night?
What do I know? Ask her.
We have. She says she was told to go there by a man on the phone.
By the guy following her.
Correct, by a stranger. That's why I'm here. Miss Morgan says that you told her about her pursuer.
Yeah, absolutely. And the hotel owner saw him too.
I've already been to see him. He confirmed that someone was asking after Miss Morgan, but he couldn't give us a proper description. Did you get a proper look at the man?
I did. His eyes are close together, and...
Not here. Come down to the station. We can do a photo fit there.
What about Angelina?
Yeah. Well, let's see what the guy you saw has to say about all this.
Give me a break. If he was the one who called, he's not gonna admit it.
If there was a call in the first place. Please, come as soon as possible. We need that photo fit.
That's a postcard of Biddeford. It's very useful for getting from one part of town to the next. But I can't just go off across the town right now. I've still got things to do here. No, that's not him. The hairline was higher.
Like that, perhaps?
No, it was more... Can't you just let me have a go at it?
Sure. Look, here are the various chin shapes and eyebrows and so on.
Yeah, I was watching you. I get the idea, okay?
You can change things using the arrows. When you're happy with it, click on save and...
Alright, I've got it.
Okay. Let me know when you're finished.
Okay. The quicker the police find this guy, the quicker I can help Angelina. What did he look like again?
So?
That's him. The guy that followed me and Angelina looked like that.
I don't know him. Perhaps a tourist. You also said he spoke with an accent.
Exactly. What now?
We'll post the pictures around town and invite the gentleman in for a talk.
And Angelina?
Yes, well, she's...
Oh, Angelina!
Darren! It wasn't me! You've got to get me out of here. They want to pin this on me!
I know, but we'll get this sorted out.
They want to charge me this afternoon. You've got to somehow...
Come on, Miss Morgan.
Darren!
I'll get you out of here. I'll think of something.
Come on, Darren.
Leave me alone. I'm gonna find out what's going on here. She is innocent. What was her motive?
That's the thing. We don't know.
Look, others had a motive. Fuller blackmailed people.
Is that so?
Mrs. Biba from the diner, she paid Fuller. Lots of money.
How do you know that?
Is that important? She had a motive. And what about that guy? He was at Fuller's yesterday.
We didn't find any money in Fuller's store, and this gentleman's a witness. Nothing else. As far as the alleged blackmailing is concerned, have you any evidence?
Evidence? Ask Mrs. Biba.
And she's gonna tell us if she was blackmailed by Fuller?
She put her under pressure.
Based on your speculation? No, that's not enough. We need evidence. Or at least something that would suggest blackmail before we can move on it. And until then, our only suspect is over there behind bars.
Fine, then I'll get a hold of the evidence. Where do I start? I need evidence that Fuller was a blackmailer. But what did he blackmail Mrs. Biber with? And was it just her or were there others? I bet the secret door in his basement has something to do with it. But how do I open it? Has Fuller still got the key on him? I've got to find out. That's a postcard of Biddeford, but I can't just go off across... Offender, victim, crime, destiny. Everything filed in an orderly fashion, and therefore closed. And if a case is solved, then chance must have played a part. I hardly think they're gonna let me snoop around in the records. Selling water is an unbelievable business. You fill the bottles with water, put on a pretty label, and charge an arm and a leg for it. All these darn mega conglomerates even try to seize control of the water supplies for entire countries. Then the price soars beyond the imaginable, and the people, who are already poor, are completely screwed. I'm not thirsty. That's the way to the cells. Huh. I've already spent a couple of nights in cells like that after protests. In my circles, that was something like a badge of honor. I just thought it was crap. Back there is the smug, ignorant captain's office. Does he really believe that Angelina killed that fat bastard? These rather sinister fellas are wanted. There are some wretched criminal mugs among them. I always wonder if police photographers get special training in making everyone look like criminals. Or is it because the pictures are on manhunt posters? It always seems to me the people in those pictures are exactly how you would imagine a criminal to look. Has Fuller's place been thoroughly searched?
As thoroughly as was necessary.
Meaning what?
We have a homicide and homicide suspect who was practically caught in the act. We have therefore photographed the crime scene, and the CSI squad has documented everything.
Did you search the basement?
Only cursorily.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Did you know, Fuller? He was a pig.
And so he deserved to be murdered?
So why should Angelina stab him a dozen times?
Why would anyone else?
Looks like a passion thing. Angelina hardly knew him.
Perhaps she was going crazy.
An English literature student in a bloody frenzy.
It's all happened before. And who says she didn't know Fuller? Maybe she had a damn good motive.
Shouldn't you be absolutely sure that someone has a damn good motive before you charge them for murder?
Not so with such a frenzied crime. People who do that stuff don't think too much about it first. Maybe she didn't have any motive at all. Maybe she just snapped.
So, has Fuller's body already been autopsied?
No, not yet. We're waiting for the pathologist from Portland. They're due around midday.
Until then?
We wait.
Great. Where's Fuller's body now?
In the hospital. They have a morgue there.
What piss-awful weather. Suppose it's fitting somehow.